Kaguya Ōtsutsuki's Rinne Sharingan is the most primal form of this eye technique. After consuming the chakra fruit from the god tree, she awakened the eye on her forehead and became the rabbit goddess, the very origin of everything related to chakra. Kaguya's Rinne Sharingan not only surpassed an ordinary Rinnegan, but also granted her the ability to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, trapping all of humanity in an eternal illusion where their will was completely bound. Thanks to the immense power of the god tree, Kaguya could also tear open spatial rifts, creating gateways to 6 different dimensions. Each dimension possessed its own unique properties, and she could freely move between them, even dragging her enemies inside, as she once did with Team 7. This demonstrates that the power of the Rinne Sharingan lay not only in its mastery of illusion, but also in its near-absolute dominion over reality itself. Hagoromo Ōtsutsuki, Kaguya's eldest son, was the first in Naruto to awaken the Rinnegan. According to legend, he unlocked it after a profound emotional shock when he struck a fatal blow against his brother, Hamura. This process closely parallels how Uchiha awakens the Sharingan or the Mangekyo Sharingan through tragedy. With the Rinnegan, Hagoromo became the legendary Sage of 6 Paths. He used it to seal away the 10 Tails, spread ninjutsu across the world, and provide humanity with a path that would later develop into ninjutsu. His Rinnegan's power was immeasurable, from controlling the 6 paths, resurrecting the dead, to even creating the moon itself. It was also through this eye that Hagoromo and Hamura used Shibaku Tensei to seal Kaguya on the moon, forging one of the greatest legends in shinobi history. Nagato, also known as Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, possessed a transplanted Rinnegan. He was not only the character who brought the Rinnegan into the spotlight of the series, but also demonstrated the terrifying potential of this dōjutsu. At first, Nagato could not fully control it. Many times he used its power unconsciously, and he even injured himself severely in the process. The turning point came after Yahiko's death in the battle against Hanzo, when Nagato fell into despair and awakened the Rinnegan's true potential, eventually falling under Obito's manipulation. It was Obito who trained him to harness the Rinnegan's abilities. Unable to walk, Nagato developed a unique system of control, the 6 Paths of Pain. These 6 bodies, remotely controlled by him, each embodied one of the Rinnegan's core abilities, working together as an unstoppable army. Among them, the most iconic was the Deva Path, which used Yahiko's body and wielded gravitational powers with techniques such as Shinra Tensei and Shibaku Tensei. Other paths included the Asura Path with its mechanized body and weaponry, the Human Path, capable of reading minds and extracting souls, the Animal Path, which could summon colossal beasts, the Preta Path, which absorbed chakra and nullified ninjutsu, and the Naraka Path, summoning the King of Hell to interrogate or restore damaged pain bodies. Beyond these 6, Nagato could also directly employ the Outer Path, the power to revive the dead at the cost of his own life. This was the final technique he used to restore all the people of Konoha after the attack, leaving behind a tragic yet heroic legacy tied to the might of the Rinnegan. Even beyond that, when Nagato was resurrected through Edo Tensei, his true potential was finally revealed. Using the 6 Paths techniques directly, alongside his natural power, proved that Nagato was not only the first to master the Rinnegan so proficiently, but also one of the greatest wielders of this dōjutsu in the entire Naruto universe. Obito Uchiha awakened the Rinnegan during the 4th Great Ninja War. After Nagato's death, Obito took the Rinnegan and implanted it into his left eye. Even with only one eye, he was able to harness incredibly terrifying powers. With the Rinnegan, Obito could summon the demonic statue of the Outer Path, the Husk of the 10 Tails. He used it to sweep across the battlefield and seal the tailed beasts within. Beyond that, Obito adapted the 6 Paths of Pain to his own methods, controlling 6 Jinchuriki who had once been captured by the Akatsuki. This feat was immensely difficult, as each Jinchuriki wielded the overwhelming power of their respective tailed beast. Obito's peak came when he became the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. In this form, though incomplete and unable to use Kamui, he was still so powerful that he was compared to Hashirama in his Sage of 6 Paths state. Obito overwhelmed the entire shinobi alliance, unleashing devastating attacks across the battlefield. Had he attained the 10 Tails' perfect form, the outcome of the war might have been entirely different. What made Obito exceptional was that his strength did not stem from the Rinnegan alone, but from his ability to combine it with the Sharingan and his own tactical prowess. In his hands, the Rinnegan was not just a weapon of destruction, but also a testament to the will and madness of a man intent on reshaping the world through the eternal Tsukuyomi. Madara Uchiha was the first true human to awaken the Rinnegan. Centuries after Hagoromo's era, Madara, the reincarnation of Indra, accomplished the unprecedented by implanting Hashirama Senju's cells, the descendant of Asura, into his own body. By merging Indra's and Asura's bloodlines, he awakened the Rinnegan. Notably, Madara had been blind in one eye after using Izanagi in his battle with Hashirama, but the Senju cells regenerated his eyes, granting him the Rinnegan in both. Before his death, Madara entrusted the eyes to Nagato Uzumaki, knowing that only an Uzumaki's vitality could withstand such overwhelming power. Later, upon his resurrection, Madara reclaimed the Rinnegan and quickly displayed its terrifying might. Even in Edo Tensei form, he used it with overwhelming force, absorbing Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, summoning 2 colossal meteors, and devastating hundreds of shinobi in the allied army. With only a few techniques, he struck fear into an entire army. Once revived in the flesh through Rinne Tensei, Madara became even more fearsome. With just one Rinnegan, he proved he could master its abilities completely, while wielding a unique and devastating technique, Limbo. Through Limbo, Madara generated invisible clones from another dimension, unseen, yet able to directly strike opponents. This made him virtually untouchable, as enemies could not even perceive where the attacks were coming from. Not stopping there, Madara subdued all the tailed beasts, sealed them into the demonic statue, and became the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. In this form, he evolved into one of the most powerful beings to ever exist in the shinobi world. Ultimately, Madara even awakened the Rinne Sharingan and cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, enveloping the entire world in an eternal dream. At that moment, he cemented himself not only as one of the strongest Rinnegan users, but also as one of the greatest and most terrifying villains in Naruto's history. Sasuke Uchiha is regarded as one of the most powerful wielders of the Rinnegan. He awakened the Rinnegan in his left eye after receiving chakra from Hagoromo Ōtsutsuki. This Rinnegan was especially unique, adorned with 6 tomai, a rare and supreme form. With its power, Sasuke commanded the full scope of the 6 paths, manipulating gravity, absorbing chakra, sealing tailed beasts, and even perceiving Madara's limbo. During the battle against Kaguya, he worked seamlessly alongside Team 7, and he could even blend certain Mangekyo Sharingan abilities into the Rinnegan, such as Amaterasu. Furthermore, Sasuke enhanced his Susanoo, elevating it into Indra's ultimate manifestation. Yet his most distinctive technique was the Meno Tejikara, the ability to instantly swap places with any target within his sight. This was a strategic trump card, invaluable for both offense and defense, and in Sasuke's hands, it became an unpredictable ace. Beyond combat, Sasuke also used the Rinnegan to open dimensional portals, allowing him to track the chakra trails of the Otsutsuki clan after the war. Altogether, these abilities proved that even with a single Rinnegan, Sasuke stood on par with the strongest shinobi in history, serving as the final hope when the world faced the looming threat of the Otsutsuki. In Boruto, Momoshiki is the Rinnegan wielder who leaves the strongest impression. When he first appeared on Earth, he only revealed his Byakugan, but in reality, he possessed 2 red Rinnegan in the palms of his hands. With these eyes, Momoshiki could absorb any ninjutsu with his right hand and instantly release it with amplified power from his left. This ability was clearly demonstrated when he infiltrated the Chunin exam, absorbing successive attacks and channeling all that energy into a single, devastating strike aimed at Naruto, proving that even before transformation, he was already extraordinarily dangerous. Later, after absorbing Kinshiki Ōtsutsuki, Momoshiki reached a superior form, unlocking an additional golden Rinnegan on his forehead. This form granted him destructive power comparable to the Deva path, yet even more terrifying, coupled with incredible speed, heightened senses, and overwhelming strength. Facing an opponent who had Rinnegan in both hands and a third eye on his forehead, Naruto and Sasuke were forced to combine their full power just to defeat him. However, it is noteworthy that, despite the exponential increase in power and destructive capability, Momoshiki did not demonstrate any new techniques beyond amplifying his existing abilities. This indicates that his danger stemmed not only from the uniqueness of the Rinnegan, but also from his mastery in exploiting them to the fullest, making him one of the most formidable enemies ever encountered. Urashiki possesses the most unusual Rinnegan in Boruto. From his very first appearance in the anime, he instilled fear through impressive techniques that, at first glance, seemed unrelated to the Rinnegan. A notable example is his expert use of the Byakugan, particularly his fishing ability. With just a fishing rod, Urashiki could drain massive amounts of chakra from his opponents, quickly exhausting them. Yet Urashiki's true danger was revealed only when he unveiled 2 distinct forms of the Rinnegan. The first is a red Rinnegan with Tomoe, which allows him to open space-time rifts and teleport instantly. With this skill, Urashiki could dodge lethal attacks at the last moment and counterattack from unexpected positions. It mirrors how Kaguya once used the Rinne Sharingan to open interdimensional portals. The second is a blue Rinnegan without Tomoe, granting him the ability to foresee a few seconds into the future. This allowed Urashiki to predict his enemy's actions with precision, making him nearly untouchable in combat. Furthermore, Urashiki could consume his own Rinnegan and absorb all the chakra stored in his gourd, evolving into a new form with a golden third eye on his forehead. In this state, he could manipulate massive chakra columns and confront both Naruto and Boruto simultaneously, a testament to his overwhelming power. Despite this, Urashiki's ending was rather disappointing, as he was defeated by 2 genin, leaving many viewers unsatisfied. However, if we overlook that loss, the unique abilities of his red and blue Rinnegan clearly demonstrate that Urashiki was an extremely dangerous adversary and one of the most distinct Otsutsuki in the entire series. Rinnegan is not only wielded by Otsutsuki or ninja, there is also a being that possesses the Rinne Sharingan, the 10 tails. It has a single red eye with 6 tonoi, containing unparalleled perception and a destructive chakra source. This eye is considered the foundation of the Rinne Sharingan, as well as the origin of the entire dōjutsu system that followed. In Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex, the 10 tails is split into multiple Shinjū, new beasts, becoming the greatest current threat. Each one possesses a Rinnegan, but only a few demonstrate special abilities. Notably, Jura, regarded as their leader, can use the Rinnegan to fire Bijudama, showcasing his overwhelming power. However, most of the Shinjū have yet to reveal their full capabilities, leaving fans curious about what other powers each Rinnegan may conceal. Do you think there are other Rinnegan users or abilities that haven't been mentioned? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you could possess a Rinnegan, which one would you choose? Urashiki's, Sasuke's, or Madara's? Let us know in the comments, and let's discuss this topic further. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like so you won't miss the next videos. We will also analyze the powers of the Sharingan, Byakugan, and many other dōjutsu. Goodbye, and see you next time.